Hey everyone, Stock Doc here. I was just writing you a prescription to take your Tesla 1 times weekly for the next 6 weeks because Tesla's going to the moon and I signed it too. But anyway, welcome back to another Market Open live stream, folks. We got another green day. Yesterday started red, and even though things started red yesterday, we quickly U-turned out of a red market. It was impressive how fast we turned out of a red market yesterday. And today we've got a whole lot of green as well. We got the Dow Jones futures up 0.38, the S&P up 0.38, NASDAQ futures, tech lagging tiny little bit here, up 0.29. Oil, let's take a look at oil, slightly below 85 again on the Brent. And if we go on over to bonds, we're sitting at a 10-year at 1.61, despite a slight miss on housing numbers this morning. Slight miss on housing numbers this morning did leave yields falling a tiny little bit. But anyway, let's take a look a little bit what's going on in pre-market, and then what we're going to do is we're going to jump on over into some of the earnings that came out this morning. Specifically, we're going to look at Johnson & Johnson, Procter and Gamble. We've got a lot of earnings that came out. And we're really now at the official beginning of earnings season, which is very big because we are looking for a lot of insights into what's actually happening with inflation. So let's see what we've got going on here in the stock charts. And Luke here mentions, Doc, I've been taking Square once a week for the past 6 months, really enjoying the results. Good. I'm glad that prescription's been working out well for you. So keep it up. Square is one of my faves. All right, so let's see here. What do we got? So we'll start with the losers again here. We'll pull over pre-market. So pre-market here, First Majestic Silver up 5.53% here in the pre-market, and the silver iShares up as well. Look at that, Sprott's physical silver running right now. A lot of the commodities have been running like crazy. Uranium's been one of those as well. Copper, it's been incredible. Lumber coming back up. I mean, a lot of commodity prices coming back up. But you got to be careful. Not all of them are, for sure, and the ones you want to pick. But anyway, I'm definitely by no means a commodities expert. So let's see what else we have here. There we go. Fix that a little bit. Okay, cool. So Nordic American tankers let's see, where are they? Here they are. Oh, up 2.47%. Dutch Bros knocking on the door of 59 here. Hut 8 Mining 1234 is the price right now. 1234 up 3%. In the pre-market as Bitcoin sitting at 62,000. Invitae coming back a little bit, 2.21% here. A lot of sell-offs over in the pharma space, Invitae, CRISPR, Moderna. A lot of recent sell-offs. Nano Dimension up a couple percent here. Let's see here. Matterport 1.58% to the upside. You've got Fastly, Xpeng, these guys coming up a tiny little bit here. SoFi 1.3%. You have, let's see, what else do you have? Beachbody, about 1% here. Blink Charging, Dave & Buster's, Tesla, Redfin, all these guys around 0.8 to the upside, as well as Corsair Gaming, up about 0.85. Tesla sitting at, with earnings coming out tomorrow, by the way, sitting at 877, approaching those all-time highs, all-time intraday high at 904 on Tesla. Remember that number. Palantir, I saw Palantir, here it is. That's at 24.44, up about 0.75%. Let's take a look here and scroll down a little bit more. There's Square up 0.2%. Pinterest up about 0.6%. Enphase up 0.57. Etsy 0.56. Beyond Meat 0.58. Nice. Some of the airlines coming back here. Spirit Airlines, Southwest green, Hippo green, Home Depot, Nordstrom, Lucid, Wayfair, a little bit of green. Honestly, a lot of green. Even though it's a little green, a lot of green. Not a lot of red. We are slightly, we're about 6 shares over a page of red here. Red specifically over here with eBay, United Wholesale Mortgage. You've got Amazon, Macy's. And Macy's really selling down about 1.52%. But yesterday it had an insane day. So, I mean, for what it's worth, it was down. It was up 17.5% yesterday. It's incredible. Zillow dropping another 1% here in the pre-market. Ethereum sitting at about 3,800. and Bitcoin over 62,000. Pretty incredible. Yeah, how is NEO doing? Let's take a look at that. Let's look at NEO here. And then we're going to look at some of the earnings. I've not looked at IonQ yet. First quantum back company back. Really? I'll look at that. IonQ, quantum computing. How do you deal with the randomness of that? I don't know. All right. So what do we got over here? Yep, and somebody's shouting out Sheeb. Let's see what you got on Sheeb, and then we'll look at NEO. Sheeb's sitting at 28 right now. This is the weekly chart. Let's go to the minute here. Oh yeah, nice little push there on the minute chart. Okay, let's look at NEO though. NEO up 1.89%. Very nice. Sitting at 40.35 right now. Very, very good. And Tesla's inclining right now, or increasing right now, sitting at 0.82%. Good. So let's now look at a little bit of what we have with earnings. So the first one I want to look at is, if I can here, yeah, Johnson & Johnson, all right? So J&J reported earnings this morning. Here's a consumer staple for you. So Johnson & Johnson, let's look at the, we'll look at the day chart here. It's the day chart on Johnson & Johnson. Johnson & Johnson comes in with an EPS of 137. They met their range of, let's see here. I'm sorry, they beat their fiscal year adjusted EPS goal of 9.66 on consensus, and they came in at 9.77 to 9.82. Good job. Net income of 3.67 billion. International sales 11.38 billion, with U.S. sales at 11.96. Wow, they're almost half U.S. and half international at Johnson & Johnson. That is incredible. So worldwide consumer sales 3.7 billion. Johnson Q3 sales came in at 23.3 billion, a slight miss from 23.74 expected, but very good EPS guidance here. Huge revenue numbers. I mean, really incredible. And yeah, raising that profit guidance, big deal. Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccine added $502 million to Q3 revenue. Wow. All right, let's look at Procter and Gamble now. Let's see. Procter and Gamble also reported today. So let's see what we got going on with these folks. So, all right, let's see here. Procter and Gamble just reported not that long ago. Actually, well, not that long ago, 2 hours ago. The morning earnings reports are always things that we're not going to watch live. But I still like to review them, and we still like to go through the earnings calls as well. We'll do that later, though. So Procter and Gamble came in with $1.61 on EPS. The estimate was for 159, so beat by a couple pennies there. Net sales coming in at 20.34 billion, beat by 1992. Hey, that's a good number, 1992. Let's see here. Procter and Gamble keeps their fiscal year guidance. Combined impact of commodities and freight costs is about a 90-cent headwind to fiscal year 2022 EPS. 90-cent headwind. Wonder what they're expecting for the fiscal year EPS, because then we could determine how much of a percentage that is. Here it is. Fiscal EPS, range of 3 to 6 fiscal year. Okay, so they're thinking 2022 is going to grow by about 5 to 6%. So if I just go with times 4.5%, I'm going to get an EPS of about 5.91. And they think that there's going to be about a 90-cent headwind to Procter and Gamble shares. Okay, so PG is estimating about a 15% impact due to commodities to bottom line, due to commodities and shipping. That's a lot. 15% bottom line impact. Bottom line. I'm going to write that down. Bottom line. Wow. Sounds like they need that prescription to some more Tesla. Wow. Okay, so that was Procter & Gamble. We hit Procter & Gamble, Johnson & Johnson, Philip Morris, Halliburton. Yeah, I'm not jumping up and down. I'm looking at some of these. So let's go ahead and let's see what else is going on. Specifically, I want to take a listen to this right here. Hold on.
Somewhat, but not to the point where you would typically expect when the Fed's starting to normalize policy. We're faced with higher corporate taxes. that was at the core of my expectations of a 10 to 12% correction. And the idea that you would get this, real sentiment negative signal, but we just didn't get it, or we haven't gotten it at least.
There's some odd kinks in this survey. I'm looking forward to catching up with BFA about it in about 20 minutes. Tony, the bond allocation story, Emily just touched on it there. Within this survey, allocation to bonds is at a record low. Allocation to bonds at a record low as people are getting more and more bearish. I guess what it depends on, Tony, and Emily also mentioned this, is what they're bearish about. If it's inflation, do I get the protection I want from where I typically get protection from? And maybe, Tony, the answer to that is no.
I think you're right on that one, Jonathan. I think investors do need to look beyond kind of maybe traditional ways that fixed income fit into a portfolio.
All right, I'm going to pull off that guy's reply. Let's see here. That was just boring. Let's see. Let's go ahead and jump back over to the sticks and just see how things are moving over here, and then we'll see what headlines are as well. So, okay, yeah, silver blowing up a little bit here in the pre-market. NEO's at 2% right now. Alibaba continuing its return at 170 right now. Good job, Alibaba. We've got ChargePoint finally breaking $20, folks. Congratulations. ChargePoint at 20.26 right now. Good job, ChargePoint. Boy, oh boy, that one's been a long time coming. You have, let's see here, SoFi. Ooh, SoFi on the move again, breaking $21. It is just an incredible market right now. Very, very bullish right now. Looking, obviously, for those red flags for a potential correction, sitting at 877 there on Tesla. And still to the downside, mostly Macy's, Zillow, a little bit of shift. Affirm actually just went to the downside a little bit. Pre-market, they were up as high as 1%. Down right now, 0.09, sitting at 157. I wonder if there was any news that came in on Affirm, because Affirm was actually kind of odd to see it go from so green to negative without news. But let's see here. Nope, no news. All right, well, that's the way it works sometimes. Let's look at BTC. Sitting at 62.3 right now. Nice moves. Just over 38 on Ethereum. All right. Let's see what kind of news we have. Let's head on over to Bloomberg. And we'll get top chart up as well. Yeah, I will be releasing a Bitcoin video, by the way. Bitcoin, Ethereum, crypto, BTF or ETF information. Grayscale Bitcoin ETF, all this good stuff, futures ETF, all of that at probably right after this live stream. So like 7:15, something like that, California time. Stay tuned for that. I'll be releasing that video then. Wow, this is some potential news here. Facebook has chosen Coinbase as its custody partner for a pilot of a new digital wallet. Ooh, Facebook and Coinbase wallet. Ooh, das ist very interesting. I'm going to see how those stocks are moving right now. Okay. Facebook on this news. That's I don't know if we can really call that a notable move. I mean, it's certainly moving up a little bit here. Yeah, there we go. Now it looks like it's moving more. Now the news is really breaking. It's possible that we're going to see this move a little bit more here on this as this news spreads. Oh, Coinbase is loving it. Let's go. Coinbase finally over 300 again. 303.73 on Coinbase. My Coinbase leaps are going to be very, very happy. Also soon we will be listening into, it looks like Gary Gensler is coming on to CNBC. Woo, a lot of news happening today. This is incredible. We should do an updated Coinbase video. Coinbase. Wow. Who needs a prescription for some more crypto and Coinbase? All right, you won. I got a prescription pad right here. All right, wow. So that's pretty cool. Then we've got Enphase. Enphase sitting up about 0.43. Nothing particularly notable here. Yeah, Facebook's definitely moving on this as well. Nowhere near as much as Coinbase is moving. But yeah, this is very, very good. In fact, if I listen to my heart rate right now, it probably have a little bit of positivity. Oh yeah, there's a lot of positivity in this happening right now. Yeah. So Coinbase very, very happy. We'll see if that lasts. Okay, so let's see here. Nothing really moving here on the towards the downside. It's really the upside that continues to keep moving here. Sun power moving up, solar's doing well. Yeah, I'm curious to see this talk about Facebook getting in here. I'm gonna pull the this news. Let's see if I can get the news sheet up for Facebook. Draftkings getting into crypto as well. I heard that. Let me see here. Let me see See if I can pull up the news on this. See if there's anything particular on Draftkings today. On digital collectibles, yeah. Ethereum scaling solution Polygon teams up with Draftkings to support NFTs. Wow. That's actually really good. Polygon, NFTs, Draftkings. Oh, let's see here. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. Can I get DOT on this? DOT USD, I can. DOT USD on the day, not particularly any kind of big movement here. So there could have been. No, I mean, it depends. There was certainly a catalyst here on the 13th for DOT. But let me go to, more importantly right now, DraftKings. Yeah, DraftKings is happy right now. It's a good move on DraftKings. But DraftKings has really been worn out. Let's go to the day chart on DraftKings. Let's see how we're sitting here. DraftKings, let's see if we can get a trend over here. Obviously, we've broken trends so many times on this one. Ooh, not quite. Probably a little bit more. Yeah, it's probably a little bit more of the trend we have right now. I mean, you're on a nice uptrend right here. We've seen these sorts of uptrends before with DraftKings, and usually, in these two instances, you ended up higher. But actually, after this one, after a period of time, you ended up lower here. So you did drop your shelf. You're at sort of a lower level of appreciation right now. You're not too far off those May 12th figures right now. You're sitting at 48 right now. This thing had fallen down to about 39. Hold on a sec. What's this over here, Kathy?
The markets and took the creativity and the imagination. Now it's coming back, and I really think it's starting with the millennials. They are excited.
Joy, Jim, the creativity, the imagination. Come on.
Okay, sorry. So I'm seeing in the comments here, you're saying the coin is Matic. Is that built on the... I don't know. Forgive me. Is that built on Polygon? I'm assuming. Matic. I'm guessing the answer to that is yes. Yeah. Polygon Matic. Polygon price. Well, hold on a second here. Matic. Why do they make it so confusing? Polygon is Matic. See, I don't know much about this. Just rebranded. Well, what? Okay. They changed the name. Polygon is Matic. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, look at that. Matic Network has announced they're rebranding. Oh, interesting. Ah, fascinating. Okay. Well, that's more for me to learn. That makes sense. Okay. Polygon Matic. Thank you. Matic. It's not DOT. All right. Thank you for that. So let me see what else it mentions here. So Ethereum scaling solution teams up with DraftKings. Polygon has announced Draftkings mainstream accessibility to support custom NFT drops along with secondary market transactions. Ooh, that's actually competition to OpenSea as well then. With the option of becoming a validator, DraftKings may be able to take part in proof-of-stake consensus protocol for Polygon blockchain main network to produce blocks, join Polygon's governance, and contribute to network security as a leader in Polygon's future. Wow. That's incredible. Polygon's infrastructure supports more than 100,000 blockchain gamers, along with Web 3.0 games and metaverses that all contribute to high-quality gaming experiences. Polygon's existing partners include Atari, Decentraland, OpenSea, The Sandbox, Zedrun, NeoDistrict, among others. Huge. This is great. Yeah, I think that's big for DraftKings, the whole NFT market space. It's really, I mean, it's a natural place to go. Is Coinbase up because of BTC or Facebook news? It's up, in my opinion, because of the Facebook news. And the reason I say it's up because of the Facebook news is because if you go to the minute chart on Coinbase, you could see coin just taking off. It's settled back down a little bit. It was up a little more. Yeah, see, look at that. This is when the Facebook news came out. And so you can see it's kind of settled down a little bit. A little bit of a buy the news here, and then a little bit of a taper. Okay, wow, awesome. Let's see what other top news we got here. So Facebook. Facebook testing remittances through digital wallet app. No fee remittances in US and Guatemala. Wow, interesting. Guatemala. I'll write that one down too. All right, let's see what else we have. But check BTC also. Yeah, I'll check. BTC. Yeah, I know it's over 62. Oh, it just started running as well. Well, honestly, it's dang. It's and I got a Bitcoin video coming out too. Dang it. Of course, it starts running right before my video is coming out. Whatever. What are you gonna do? Wait until Apple crypto? Yeah, no kidding. Let's see here. Coin. I want to see CoinMarketCap. Yeah, look at that. Okay, 62.5 here on CoinMarketCap for BTC, Ethereum 820 or 3810. Cardano's really been the laggard here. Oh, there we go. Just updated a little bit. Cardano's just been stuck in the mud. It just released the video now. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Then they fight for each other on the YouTube. It's weird. So, but anyway, Cardano, yeah. Cardano's really just been. I mean, this was all Alonzo hard fork hype over here. Smart contracts. I mean, year to date, it's obviously it's still up, but it's just been stuck in the mud for a little bit. I mean, that's okay. At least it's actually showing some serious support around these levels, though, for what it's worth. Yeah, it feels like a consolidation. I would agree with that. Yeah, it is true. I mean, I can't be complaining. I bought the crap out of this thing at like $1, $1.08, $1.30. And every time I bought it, I sent alerts to those of you in the Stocks and Psychology of Money group, because it's Stocks and Psychology, but you also get the crypto alerts anytime I buy or sell crypto. So if you're not in the Stocks and Psychology of Money group yet, remember, you pay once, lifetime access. The price goes up again on the 29th. Got a bunch of new lectures dropping on the 24th. That's Sunday. So I'm going to be working quite a while and to make sure we got some really, really awesome lectures on this release. And yeah, I'd love to have you do the live course member Q&A live streams as well. And it's fun chatting. Yesterday, we had a big thread going about GME as well. We still have that big thread going, but we can now make separate threads for individual discussions within our group, which is super cool. There we go. Plug this darn thing in. Anyway, yeah, check that out down below. Okay, so let's see what other top news we have before we open here. We've got 5 minutes to go. Bitcoin pushes towards record before debut of futures-based ETF. Supply chain shocks and earnings trip investors up. Yep. Housing starts fell last month. led by a multifamily slowdown. I want to see this here. Multifamily slowdown. Let's see here. Okay, the U.S. housing starts decreased in September, driven by a pullback in multifamily construction because of lingering supply chain constraints, shortages of skilled labor, and elevated material costs. Yeah, I mean, this kind of reiterates what happened with Zillow yesterday. So applications to build a proxy for future construction fell 7.7% at an annualized rate. That's a pretty big decrease. Single family starts unchanged. Wow, negative 7.7% on multifamily. That's just really a symptom of what's happening. All right, so let's see other top news that we have going into the open here. Let's see. Economy has plenty of off ramps before stagflation. Yeah. Putin to skip G20 meeting. Oh gosh. Alibaba unveils one of China's most advanced chips. Alibaba unveiled a new server chip that's based on a 5-nanometer technology, marking a milestone in China's pursuit of semiconductor self-sufficiency. That's actually big news, in my opinion, for Baba. A 5-nanometer chip. China's tech giant newest chip is based on microarchitecture provided by the SoftBank-owned group ARM. And this was, NVIDIA was going to partner with them. Alibaba, which is holding its annual cloud summit, said the silicon will be put to use in its own data centers in the near future and will not be sold commercially, at least for now. Yeah, I wonder what that means for the NVIDIA ARM deal. Oh, well. All right, so let's see here. Lemonade price target cut on by Barclays. Oh, how dare they? Let's see here. We have. Let's see if I can get that update as well. Yep, that just came in 2 minutes ago. I'm sorry, an hour and 2 minutes ago. Oh, okay. So kind of old news at this point. But hey, Lemonade's still positive. Look at it. It's still slightly positive. But yeah, Barclays cutting Lemonade to $68 a share from $80. Morgan Stanley adjusts Lemonade price target to $74 from $90. Wow, a couple cuts here. All right. Well, it makes sense that firms, and this is the irony of ratings, it makes sense that when a trade, when a stock consolidates, kind of like Lemonade has, when a stock goes down like this, it doesn't make sense for a company to have a price target that's so way high up, in the 90s or whatever, because you're so far off. You may as well have a price target that's just a little bit above, so that way when they beat it, you could raise your price target and kind of help that momentum go. Tim, these are trade secrets. I can't tell you. Trade secrets. Sell the news on the Bitcoin ETF. I mean, remember, this is a Bitcoin futures ETF. It's not the Bitcoin ETF. And I am not optimistic on this futures ETF. I don't think you should buy it. I think it's a mistake. And I'm not happy about it. But we have it here on the watch list now, so we'll watch it. Okay. We are going to open here in about 30 seconds. Let's take a quick peek. Let's see if a firm's still red. Oh, look at that. A firm goes green again. Let's go. Up 0.41. Good job, firm. Coming back from the red. Macy's, Smile Direct, Naked, red. Oh, Lemonade turned red. Yeah, Lemonade turned red on that Barclays news. Cheesecake, Amazon, red. All right, let's go ahead and get the bell.
The other important initiatives that have been undertaken by corporate America, really in a very real and positive way over these last
Here we go.
years.
Let's get the opening bell here, guys, and the CNBC real-time exchange. And you see at the big boards, it is ProShares celebrating the first U.S. Bitcoin-linked ETF. Ticker BITO at the Nasdaq. Vivid Seats, an online ticket marketplace celebrating its listing via
look at the green today. Look at that green. What is that? 85+% green? Holy moly. That is so green. Let's see if it actually lasts today, though. Let's go ahead and dive in. Okay, minute chart. Tesla. A little bit of a sudden plummet there in Tesla. A little red there right at the start here on Tesla. Coinbase, little red here to start with. A little bit of, looks like some potential profit taking. ChargePoint up almost 3% to 2050 right now. Coinbase vacillating right now as we open. Gamestop is a barcoding over here, but slightly rotating to the downside upon open. AMC rotating down on open. Cheesecake rotating down on open. Macy's pushing down on open more, down a couple percent now. We have on open, not much movement there on cryptos at open. It's kind of normal. Lemonade, 66.35, down on open. And Disney, 171, mixed at the open. Hippo, slightly red on open. Owlet, up 0.25%, kind of mixed there. Enphase, mixed open. SoFi, below 21. Little mixed chart as well. That's turning red. SoFi's turning red. Falling a little bit here. Market kind of giving up a little bit of that enthusiasm as we go into earnings. Although Etsy's rotating up. And remember, the market does this. The market has this tendency of turning red right at the open as people take profits. And then it's not a surprise to see us turn green within the first 10 minutes of the open here. ChargePoint running. Let's go. Here we go. ChargePoint's taken off. ChargePoint at 3.87%. That's very, very exciting. ChargePoint is a $6.72 billion charging play. Very, very nice. Let's take a look here. BTC. Yeah, BTC popping off a little bit here on the minute chart. Sitting right now at 62.48, but within the minute here, ran as high as 62.7 there for a brief moment. Dave & Buster's still pushing slightly negative. Good luck. Yeah, let's see here. Good luck. Have fun. Let's get rid of this pre-market here. Let's drop this over here. Let's see. Dutch Bros. No way. Hold on a sec. Bros. Dutch Bros up 5.25%. Oh my gosh. It's going again. Holy moly. Dutch Bros up 5.25%. Look at this though, folks. Oh my gosh. Get your life insurance in as little as 5 minutes via the link. Well, I don't know if I have a link down below, but it's going to metkevin.com/life, because if you go to metkevin.com/life, you can get life insurance in as little as 5 minutes. And, with the stock gains like this, you're going to want some life insurance. So, I mean, this is crazy. ChargePoint taken off here, 4.65%. Highly, in my opinion, oversold. You've got Alibaba moving substantially on this chip news here. 5 nanometer chip from ARM. Pretty incredible deal here. Coinbase also going green. Here we go. Draftkings on the NFT moves. Very, very good NFT news from Draftkings. By the way, also make sure to go to metkevin.com/public to get up to $70 in totally free stocks. metkevin.com/public. Up to $70 in totally free stocks. They don't use payment for order flow, and they won't buy or sell your information. And you can follow me there at @mekevin. But anyway, GameStop up 2.55% here. Very bullish, crisp after that SEC report yesterday that was not very well received at all. Enphase, here we go. Enphase popping off 1.42%, just gained 1%. Very nice, very nice. Let's see let's see. Etsy at point. Etsy kind of rotating down a little bit here. Where'd Tesla go? Is Tesla neg? Tesla's turning negative. Tesla's going down. It's going down for the count. It is sitting at 871.88 right now, waiting to see if Tesla's going to U-turn. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. BTC, oh my gosh, Bitcoin just broke 63,000 on the minute chart. We are about to break all-time highs. Absolutely incredible. Kind of makes me wish I posted my Bitcoin video earlier, but it does come out at about 7:15 is when I'll release my Bitcoin video. So stay tuned for that. That'll be after this live stream. And let's just say it's bullish. Cloudflare down 3% right now as we're getting a little bit of profit taking on Cloudflare. Cardano sitting at 213. Bitcoin futures ETF begins trading. Did it? Let's see. BITO. Yep. Bitcoin futures ETF is out. We still don't have a relative measure here. Looks like it's just now beginning. So, oh yeah, here we go. We'll keep an eye on this, how it goes. So, Lucid rotating down. Car dealers rotating down a little bit right now. Okay. Well, I shouldn't say car dealers. It's more like car manufacturers. But y'all know what I meant. Disney down 0.25% right now. And let's see if Tesla's continuing its decline right now. Tesla is still up 0.25%, sitting at 871. It's trying to hold on to that 870 level. Let's see if it can do it. Google sitting up 0.13%. Lemonade went slightly positive again. And SoFi is dancing around break even. Is this going to be a U-turn right here for Tesla? Looks like we may have had profit-taking pressure and now maybe getting some pressure back to the upside. There we go. We're seeing the green. Very, very nice. Very nice. Let's see Hippo here. Hippo. Oh, yeah. Look at that bounce on Hippo right off that 414. Oh, hold on. Gary Gensler.
Bitcoin futures ETF to begin trading, but have not yet approved a regular Bitcoin ETF.
Bob, thank you for that question. Just to give you a little context, I think that we in the official sector should be technology neutral, but not policy neutral. And so what we're trying to do is ensure to the best we can within our authorities to bring projects into the investor protection perimeter. And so what you
Folks, just a quick note, ChargePoint, 5.26%. You've also got a run happening right now on AMC up 2.6%.
Futures Trading Commission, which I was once honored and proud to serve there. And that's been 4 years. And some of these applications came in and went effective. As you said, one of them went effective with regard to those products over at the Chicago Mercantile Exchange that our sibling agency oversees.
Say something fun.
I think the important thing here is you've made it clear in the past.
No, don't buy Beto, especially not to hodl. To trade, maybe.
Bitcoin ETF would have. You don't have people breaking into exchanges, for example. You don't have problems with fraud or manipulation. Was that a factor? It seems that that was a factor in the fact that you went ahead and allowed the Bitcoin futures ETF. You don't have those particular problems here.
Well, I'm not going to get into any one application or project. I think what you have here is a product that's been overseen for 4 years by a U.S. federal regulator, the CFTC, and that's being wrapped inside of something that is within our jurisdiction called the Investment Company Act of 1940. So we have some ability to bring it inside of investor protection. It's still a highly speculative asset class, and listeners should understand that underneath this, it still has that same aspect of volatility and speculation. But there's our sister agency has overseen this for 4 years. And then it brings it inside, as I said, an 80-year-old law here at the SEC.
Let me move on to the Gamestop report. Usual, thorough report from your staff. I think this will be the historical record of what happened. But I'm curious about the recommendations. You have been talking,
Dude, the recommendations were trash.
For order flow and gamification and the potential deleterious effects of both of these on the U.S. trading system. And yet there was no discussion about how this might have impacted the trading for GameStop. I'm wondering if there is some kind of connection. Was payment for order flow
Don't buy Beto
a factor in what happened with GameStop or not? The report doesn't say.
So I think that the events of January revealed a number of things. And as the staff suggested, for additional consideration, these two topics plus two others, that we look out for the investing public when brokerage apps, when robo-advisors are using new data analytics and marketing to us using behavioral prompts to possibly get us to trade in a way that benefits them, benefits the application and the program, in conflict potentially with what benefits us, the investing public. Also, embedded in some of those issues are the structure of the stock market itself. It's so much of the market now is evidenced in the report in January in these months. About half of the market is not going to the transparent sort of market, that fully lit market that you earlier showed, but it's going to dark pools and wholesalers. So those issues the staff suggested up. We're going to take a closer look in terms of what policies can help the public.
Chairman Gensler, it's great to have you on the show again. I know that your position on trying to invest well. I read a great book that you wrote about no free lunch. That's why we have diversification. And then I read this report, and I absolutely understand. It's very thorough, and it's got great stuff, and talks about how options didn't really affect things and what did impact. And then on page, the last notes, number 2, there's this sentence. Payment for order flow and the incentives it creates may cause broker-dealers to find novel ways to increase customer trading, including through the use of digital engagement practices. I read this, and it felt like a bit of a lamentation. I felt that right before that, you talked about, don't forget, companies underneath the memes are actual employees, customers, plans to invest. And then you get to this, and I wanted you to be able to say, maybe this is unfortunate. Because I know that people want, they want to open and have as much engineering, but this is not Chairman Gensler. Chairman Gensler is against any idea that we should be doing these digital engagement practices that might hurt investors.
So let me sort of address that. I think that we've found throughout our economy, on platform after platform, whether it's in streaming apps, retail apps, various social media, that we're in a transformative time. The 2020s is rapidly changing. On top of the invention of the internet many decades ago, we have data analytics, artificial intelligence that markets to each of us a little differently. I mean, you might type something in a text and then all of a sudden find you're being advertised something you typed to a personal friend in the text. So those features are all around. What we're raising the question is in finance, what does that mean for finance? These digital engagement practices, the underlying separating you from me and from all of us. And then if the application's marketing for their revenues, and payment for order flow does have an inherent conflict that the brokerage application is increasing their revenues if we trade more. And so are they using these behavioral prompts to get us to trade more or to move to different products, options trading or trading on margin, which inherently have more risk in them? And where do we, the SEC, help the investing public out to help them do well when there's these inherent conflicts inside the kind of inside the box?
Right, but I guess what I struggle with is you've got this great moment here. There are 1 million of these accounts belong to investors with an average age of 19. I think these investors, if they're focusing on, let's say, trying to put together a fantasy team, I think they're spending a lot more time on fantasy, trying to figure out who's on waivers tonight, how to be able to make it. So what's the line? What's the over? They're spending more time, Chairman Gensler, on their fantasy lineup than they are trading. They're trading like banshees. Don't we want to encourage them to spend as much time as they do in their fantasy lineup?
Well, I think that investing for the long term tends to have higher returns than day trading or even hourly trading. And sometimes, not always, but sometimes these applications encourage individuals to have high trading volumes or trade on margin or options that have inherently higher risks. And so that's where there's a worthwhile public debate. And I thank the staff of the SEC to serve up this report. I think, yes, as you said earlier, now it's the job of the commission to sort through what we do with these additional considerations.
Mr. Chairman, the staff determined that a short selling squeeze was a factor, but it wasn't the primary reason for the big sell-up price run-up in GameStop. It was positive sentiment, I'm reading from the report here, that sustained the weeks-long price appreciation. Positive sentiment, not the short squeeze. Short covering was a small fraction of the overall buying volume. I guess I'm wondering, though, despite that, you've been talking about potential changes in short selling rules. Do we need to make any changes? Do we need more, for example, disclosure about short selling?
I think that the markets could benefit from greater transparency, not only on short selling, but a related activity in the markets, which is called stock loan. When you borrow a stock to sell it short, our U.S. Congress actually about 11 years ago passed two provisions that directed the SEC to do greater transparency in short selling and this related activity, stock loan. So I have asked staff for recommendations on this to promote, meaning that on a regular basis, the market would benefit from seeing the volumes and activity in the lending market, meaning lending securities, and also this short selling activity.
Just to follow up on payment for order flow, I mean, most viewers of the trading activity in the last 30, 40 years agree that the American investor has never gotten a better deal. Not only do commissions essentially go to zero, but even trading costs are much lower. Execution quality has improved dramatically in the last 30 years. I know there's a little bit of debate about exactly how much, but the average investor seems to be getting a very good deal. Do you feel you're going to be actually able to demonstrate a real harm from payment for order flow, number one? And number two, could you tell us what comes next here? You've got the commission with your staff with a very excellent report on the facts, but not a lot of direction about where it should be going. Is the commission then going to meet and make recommendations or make rule changes from here? What's the path here forward after this commission staff report?
Well, let me say this. You're right that our markets have gotten more have moved to zero commission, but it doesn't mean it's free. There's still payment underneath these applications. It also doesn't mean that it's always best execution. And we've had cases where we've announced in the last 18 months where there has been this conflict between the broker on the one hand and this payment for order flow on the other. And let me just remind your viewer that if you place a retail market order, as shown in this report, the vast majority of those don't go to the transparent lit markets. They go to the dark market, these pools that are not competing. And so I've asked staff, can we achieve this simple concept that your order, when you place it, competes with other orders? And buyers, if you're selling, will compete to get and to pay you, hopefully, the best execution for that price, order by order by order. That's what I've asked staff. And I think that that's an important concept of competition that helps the investors on one side, helps the companies on the other side that are raising money in our markets.
Well, Mr. Chairman, again, I want to praise the staff because those who read this will know there was not a vast conspiracy against them. which was really the topic that I know a lot of us felt we were really razzed by because we were all in on some sort of Citadel conspiracy. I think that's completely busted this. But there was something on page 12 that disturbed me. You talk about some in the marketplace may possess superior information about underlying assets. That, sir, I think is illegal. Did we discover that some had superior information and therefore should be in front of the commission to find out what the heck went on?
Well, I think that you chose the words carefully, may be there, but when order flow, when trading is being purchased and sent to one wholesaler or another wholesaler, then they have information that the rest of the market may not have, at least for a short period of time. And even milliseconds matter in these markets. And so that's what we're also looking at. You're absolutely right that I think from a policy perspective, want to look at that and how we instill greater competition, in essence, for that data as well as for that order flow.
Chair Gensler, David Faber here. We had you on not that long ago, obviously a long-ranging interview. I wanted to come back to SPACs, if I might, just for a moment. Haven't really heard that much from the SEC yet, and I wonder where you are, because it does appear that the market has been making its voice heard when it comes to SPACs. We are seeing the sponsors changing their compensation arrangements. We've seen the pipe market really freeze up. And so is the market doing its job, and the SEC therefore perhaps doesn't have to take significant action in any way in terms of regulation for SPACs?
I think that there is a need here for greater transparency, greater disclosure. These are innovations that have happened in our market, special purpose acquisition companies, but they're costly, and they may also have inherent conflicts between a promoter or sponsors taking generally about 20% of the offering. That if you raise $1 billion, that's $200 million. Can I repeat the number? $200 million to basically raise money in a blank check type of shell company. And then you have 2 years to go out and try to buy something. And there's also this conflict that if you don't buy something, you don't get, the promoter, the sponsor doesn't get that 20%. So there's an incentive to buy something, even if it's not the best purchase in the world, particularly as the clock is ticking and you get to the end of the 2 years. So I know I've said this a lot about staff working on recommendations. These rules are highly detailed. We need to work on the economic analysis, which is so critical to good decision making. There are 5 commissioners. And so the process does take a number of months. And sometimes the public says, oh, where's that document or where's that rule proposal? But I would envision that staff will put something up to our 5-member commission. And if there's the support of the commission, we'll put it out to public comment with regard to SPACs, with regard to a number of these other topics we've talked about as well.
Wow. Just a follow-up to my question, the second part you didn't quite answer. What's next here? What happens after this report? Does the commission meet, your 5 commissioners, discuss what you want to do? Are you going to propose rule changes? I know you have a request for comment on digital engagement practices that are out there. What will become of that? I guess I'm looking for a roadmap for what you're trying to accomplish here.
So the 5 of us generally meet bilaterally, and then sometimes we meet as a group. And as a group, when we do that, often that leads to what's called a public meeting, and the cameras are on and the like. In terms of what's next is staff recommendations on the plumbing. This is called the clearing and settling side. There seems to be broad support in market participants to shorten the settlement cycle. We are secondly assessing the comments that came in on digital engagement. I've asked staff to consider whether there's some recommendations we'd have on those potential conflicts and also better protecting the public. And then the third area that was highlighted was market structure, the entire equity market structure. We haven't updated it in 16 years, since 2005. And I think technology has changed so dramatically that it's worthwhile taking a very close look and seeing if we propose something out. In all of these areas, as well as short selling, which I talked about earlier, that I would anticipate we'd propose things because Congress has told us, mandated that we need to. In these 4 areas, I'd envision as staff is debating it, commissioners will weigh in, and then if we think so, we'll put it out to public comment. My hope is that we put it out and have a lively public debate and see what's best for the markets and for the investing public.
Mr. Chairman, on page 6, in order for a customer to trade options, broker-dealers must conduct due diligence that option trading is appropriate for the individual customer. Sir, Robinhood has millions of customers. There's no way they're doing that. I mean, isn't it time we examine that process?
Well, so this is one of the challenges, that to get greater access, our user interfaces on our mobile phones have made it very efficient. But then the question that you've just raised is also appropriate. Is somebody on the other side looking as to whether doing the due diligence, as you say, about that customer opening a higher risk account, an options trading account, for instance, or a margin trading account? And I think the staff appropriately flagged this issue.
Mr. Chairman, I want to thank you for coming on and giving us your thoughts. And we very much appreciate the work of your staff in laying out the facts. And obviously, this is a very important historical document in terms of what happened. And we look forward to having you on again soon to let us know what the next steps are. Gary Gensler, Chairman of the SEC, thank you very much.
Wow, that was pretty incredible. I mean, we got a lot of things out of that. I mean, short selling, basically anticipating more disclosure, more transparency on short selling. Amazing, more disclosure, big thing. Also looking into obviously payment for order flow. Big complaint about payment for order flow having to do with the fact that there's this real potential conflict of interest, right? Then he really slammed SPACs pretty hard. Says that SPACs are costly and that sponsors often take 20% in fees. You raise $1 billion, you're paying $200 million in fees, and the promoters basically incentivized to find any deal. Then you've got dark pools that he slammed, saying the majority of market orders going through dark pools are not competing against other orders, which hurts pricing competitiveness. Bitcoin BTF, this was a big one too. He kind of implied that with a Bitcoin ETF, he basically suggested that the Bitcoin futures ETF was approved by the CFTC because the SEC and the Commodity Futures Trading Commission had been reviewing these projects for a number of years. And for what it's worth, the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust has been operating since 2013, and they just applied to become to convert their fund to an ETF. Pretty bullish. What's not bullish though is Tesla. Tesla's slipping here today. It's fallen off my chart right here at 865 right now. Probably a lot of shorting happening before the before earnings tomorrow. It kind of seems to continue to get pressure to the downside here. And anyway, so let's see what else we have going on here. We've got let's see how the day's evolving here. CRISPR Therapeutics bouncing back up to SPACs are transparent as mud. No kidding, huh? All right, so CRISPR Therapeutics running very nicely, up 5.12%. ChargePoint running 4.7% here. A little bit of volatility here, but really nice run on ChargePoint. Love seeing that run on ChargePoint. Very nice. Enphase up 3.61%. Let's go, Enphase! Love Enphase. Awesome. 3.6%. Very, very good. Baba moving on that chip partnership with ARM. Very nice. 3.55. Matterport 2.72. No particular news. NEO 2.3%. Johnson & Johnson beat earnings. Their fiscal year guidance was more bullish. Their revenue was a tiny little miss. Coinbase only up about 1.84% here, really kind of pulling down after their enthusiastic partnership announcement with Facebook. Google sitting trapped kind of around 0.5% here. Looks like with the other market kind of chilling down a little bit of relaxing in the market here. You've got looks like the SPY kind of bobbing around here. not really making any defined action to either side. Etsy up 0.25% to 228 right now. And Disney sitting rough. I mean, some of these are barely red here. Robinhood probably on the payment for order flow comments. Tesla down about 0.6% here, continues to dip right now. So keep an eye on that for shorter term options. Then we've got, let's see what else we have here. Let's take a peek at, and let's jump on over here into, let's see, what do we got? No, nothing really to cover here. Let's see if I can pull this up. Nope, can't pull this up. Trying to get Bloomberg up, but it's not working. It's running through another stupid ad. All right, we'll jump on over here really quick.
Who is live from day 2 of the Milken Institute Global Conference in Los Angeles. Back about 4,500 this morning, as we are definitely wading into Q3 earnings. Procter, J&J, Dover, and a lot more, Morgan.
Yeah, and speaking of that, we are 30 minutes into the trading session. So here are 3 of the big movers we're watching, and there are quite a number of them. But we're going to start with Kansas City Southern, reporting mixed results after earnings missed and volumes dropped 3%. The freight railroad suspending previous guidance due to a lack of visibility. This is thanks to auto plant shutdowns, service interruptions in Mexico, refined fuel product supply chain disruptions. KSU, which as of last month is now merging with Canadian Pacific, sliding down about 0.5% right now. Dow Component Travelers, meantime, is higher. The property casualty insurer reporting a drop in Q3 profit, but still beating estimates thanks to higher investment returns from its non-fixed income portfolio that offset a jump in catastrophe losses. You can see those shares are up more than 2% right now. And finally, watch Coinbase. Facebook choosing the cryptocurrency exchange to partner on a digital wallet. The stock also buoyed by Bitcoin, which is now hovering just below its all-time high that was hit back in April as ProShares Bitcoin Futures ETF begins trading this morning as well. Coinbase now up 1%, coming off the highs we saw a little bit earlier, Carl.
Yeah, a 6-month high there on Coinbase. Interesting. That Bitcoin ETF, just one of many topics covered last hour with the chair of the SEC. Bob Pisani did the interview with David and Kramer. What a conversation. And about the future of what investing should be.
Yeah, it's very interesting because he really drummed up this report as some kind of summary.
All right, let's pull off of this here. Let's go back to what else we've got going on in the market over here. So CRISPR. Okay, yeah, for what it's worth, by the way, just want to give you a quick reminder to check out the programs linked down below on building your wealth. Also, make sure to, with that coupon code expiring on the 29th, also make sure to go to metkevin.com/life to get life insurance in as little as 5 minutes, and metkevin.com/public to get a free stock valued up to $70. Okay, take a look here. We've got ChargePoint still up 4%. Nice little move here. CRISPR up 5.42%. Enphase up 3.3%. Very nice. Alibaba up 3.2%. Matterport 2.86. Really good moves here overall. Macy's, after being up 17%, softening though a little bit, about 4% to the downside. Cloudflare has had a pretty big run here, dropping about 3.7% today. So a little bit of profit taking today. Look at some of the ones that have been running. SoFi down about 1.39%. Affirm's down about 1.44%. Peloton down about 0.94%. Tesla's really bouncing around that negative sort of 0.58%. Really got a lot of potential negative attention here on earnings. I've got a lot of long options on this one. We've got Corsair actually just went down. We opened up positive on Corsair, and Corsair just moved to the downside. You've got Owlet sitting at 0.31 to the downside. Some things moving a little bit to the downside here that were up. Etsy, for example, was up, now moving a little bit to the downside. So like possibly a little bit of softening in the market. A little bit of softening here. S&P kind of just dancing around, hasn't been moving much at all. Let's look at the CNBC chart here. We've got, the Dow Jones softened a little bit. S&P's been stable. NASDAQ softened a little bit. Russell 2000 about 0.25%. They're all still up about 0.25%, so doing very nicely. You've got Dave & Buster's actually rotated to the upside about 0.5%. Very cool. And what else do we have here? These are all the stocks to the downside here. Lemonade down a couple of percent right now. And what else do we have here? Tesla's really bobbing around this 865. So looks like you're getting a temporary support possibly around this 865 level. Looks like you're popping off again a little bit here, which is nice. Keep an eye on this. We did have a little bit of a run up over here, and it just kind of led to a continued little bit of a sell down here. Not a surprise after the insane runs that we've been through to end up running into a little bit of a red day, especially since if you look over here, we've got this resistance level sitting at an 880, and it's not a surprise at all that we pulled off a little bit off this. All right, so what else? End phase. Keep an eye. By the way, I did just also send an alert to those of you in the Stocks and Psychology of Money group for a December option that I had on this particular company. I've got a bunch of contracts, but I had a short-term contract that I'm not going to hold anymore because I'm taking big old tendies on them. And remember, when you have shorter term contracts, don't be greedy. Take tendies. All right. So let's see here. Yeah, CRISPR. Look at CRISPR bounce off the support line that we've got here. This is the, we did draw this a couple days ago, so it's not like super impressive, but we did draw this line just a couple days ago at 96.81. Once we saw the reversal starting to happen, we're sitting at 102 now. Dutch Bros sitting at 468. Good moves. End phase doing pretty amazingly here, bouncing off of some of these lows that we had really just about 13 days ago. So really, really incredible moves. Great job here on end phase. And let's see here. What else we have? Yeah, Lemonade, couple percent getting burned by that Barclays downgrade, which kind of makes sense. But then again, some profit taking here, Affirm. And SoFi, Redfin's down a little bit, about 1%. The Redfin news wasn't so good. Looks like Tesla's not holding on to that 865 level, potentially rotating back to the downside here, which is unfortunate. Not unexpected to see a little bit of a sell down prior to earnings, though. The more it sells down prior to earnings, the better earnings might actually potentially lead the market to react with. So that's good. All right, what else do we have here? Let's do a quick headline grabber here. All right, let's see here. Housing starts. We talked about Johnson & Johnson. We covered. Talked about Zillow. And kind of hit on most of these headlines already. We've had a pretty busy open live stream here, which has been very fun. Lot to cover. It kind of flew by. It is roughly time for me now to jump on over to the course member live. So I would recommend, if you have not yet checked out the programs for the course member group, check it out. Link down below. And we'll see what the heck's, we'll have a little bit of Q&A and we'll see what's going on. Otherwise, thank you so much for being here, folks. Make sure you fulfill your prescriptions. And we'll see you all very soon. Thanks so much. Bye.